Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jersey. Today we are going to be making strawberry rhubarb jam with pectin and strawberry jam without pectin. Let's jump right in. To this pot we added 4 cups of frozen organic strawberries, 2 cups of frozen organic rhubarb, a 1/4 cup of our fresh lemon juice, and 1 package of pectin. I'm going to take this over to the wood stove. Once this becomes to a boil, then we will add our sugar. Do not add water or any other liquid. Once this starts cooking down, it will make a lot of juice and then we need it to thicken. We're going to bring this over a rolling boil, which means when we stir it, it will continue to boil. In order to get the rhubarb cooked, because the strawberries were starting to boil, I had to use my stick blender. I'm going to put this back on the stove. I'm going to give it another moment. I do not want this to stick and start turning black on the bottom. And you might say, why do you have such a huge pot for this little bit? Because when you add the sugar, sometimes it can come all the way up to here when it becomes to a rolling boil, and it also has foam in it. Some people add butter to combat the foam. I do sometimes, other times I don't. This time I will not. This is 4.5 cups pure cane sugar. We turn this to a boil for 1 minute and boil hard according to the pectin packet. Don't start timing it yet until it becomes a boil again. Then you can time a minute if you want to do it according to their package. You want to leave it a little bit so it will get hot again, but you don't want to leave it too long without stirring it. It's getting there. When you start seeing the foam, it's getting there. Also, you can do a gel test. Some people will put a little bowl or a plate in the freezer. They'll add a little bit of jelly on it and they'll see if it gels. I guess since I've been doing this for, we'll say 30 years, we don't need to go in how much longer. I can tell by looking at it, and you can also dip this in. See it starting to drip and thick gooey? That means it's starting to gel. You do not have to put a plate in the freezer and put a little on it and come back and run your finger through it. I'm sure in the beginning, if you want to try doing that, that's okay. And as it cools in the jar over the next days and weeks, it will get thicker. This part of the second boil sometimes takes just as long as the very first time when we brought the fruit to a boil. This can take almost up to 10 minutes to bring it to a second rolling boil. Once it becomes to a rolling boil, I'll meet you back at my counter. Roughly a 1/4 inch headspace. I do not use this because I've been doing it long enough, but if you're not sure, you will need to get something like this, and you'll need to leave at least a 1/4 inch headspace. I had the jars warmed in my wood stove about 112 temperature. That's how I usually do in my oven. I usually put them on this particular tray and put them in the oven. Once they're sterilized, it keeps them warm. You will need to leave at least a 1/4 inch headspace. If you don't know how to eyeball it or you feel safer getting a gauge, they sell these at all canning jars stores. As you will see, this has some scum or foam on it. You can try to ladle it off or skim it off. I try to push it to a side, or you can add butter. I do not always do that. This is a clean cotton bleached and sterile muslin towel. I always wipe. I will put these into the water bath and process them 10 minutes. You want at least 1 inch of water over your jars. Put a lid on it, let it boil 10 minutes, and put it on the rack and you're good to go. And here is our 5 half-pint jars of strawberry rhubarb jam. On to strawberry jam with sugar and strawberries, nothing else, no pectin, no lemon juice, no nothing. Let's jump right in on that. This is recipe number 2. All it will take is 2 quarts of strawberries, which is 8 cups. Let's go over to the wood stove. Okay, and we are back. This is what you're looking for. Since these were frozen strawberries, I do not add the sugar right away. I let them melt and then I add the sugar. So during the summer, if you're gonna make this recipe with fresh picked strawberries, you would add the 8 cups of strawberries with 6 cups of sugar all at once and then heat it up on the stove. But since these were frozen, I do not like to add the sugar to frozen strawberries because sometimes the sugar will burn or crystallize before the strawberries melt. So on the wood stove, within 5 minutes, strawberries were thawed enough that I went and added the sugar right away. This recipe took about 40 minutes, and it is a process because there is no pectin, it's only strawberries and sugar. So don't expect it to be as fast as the one with the pectin. I wanted to show you one with pectin, one without pectin. As you will see, this does not have anywhere near as much foam as the strawberry rhubarb one with pectin. Again, like the recipe we had made prior today, the strawberry rhubarb, you need to leave about a 1/4 inch headspace. Wipe your rim, a dampened clean cotton muslin. Tighten it, but you do not want to tighten it too much. It needs room to expand while it's in the water bath. Since this does not have any added pectin in it, it will require approximately the 6 cups of sugar that I suggested. I like to hold my finger on it. After making this a few times, you will be able to eyeball what a 1/4 inch is. My favorite all-time recipe ever is strawberry currant jelly. I have not had currants since we left New York. So this is more like a strawberry jam syrup. If you would like big pieces left in yours, just do not use the immersion stick blender. Knowing that this made almost 7, you could probably add a 3/4 cup of strawberries next time, so that would be 8 3/4 cup. It's not gonna hurt. Or you could even push it to 9 and just use, if you have a half of one, that would be 7 full half pints and a little bit that you can have for dessert at night. This does not bother me because I am out of strawberry jelly, so I will be using this tomorrow. It is always best to wait 12 to 24 hours. Remove the rings. You do not need these stored on there. They will rust. You won't be able to get them off. I will wash with warm water, giving this as a gift. Put it on lightly and tell the recipient they're not going to use it for a month or two to keep the jar lid off or very loose. Don't forget to tag and what ingredients are in it in case someone goes to the recipient's house and needs to know what kind of sugar is in it, what kind of fruit is in it. It is always best to give a label with ingredients and date. If you have made it to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please hit the subscribe button and over to the right, hit the all notification bell and you will be notified each time I load up weekly. Thank you.